Welcome back to 16 Days of Activism. I am Paki Ekestrom, and I could not think of a better person to interview for this project. She's fearless, bold, resilient, hardworking, and when I look at you, I see art. So, but I will not take time from you. I want that you introduce yourself. So tell us who you are.
Sure. I'm Charuk, and I'm an Iranian artist, musician. And if I want to talk about my childhood and how I reach here, is that I came from Azeri ethnicity of Iran, which literally means fire. And the music and dance and storytelling was always like part of the primal part of our family tradition. And we used to conduct the ceremonies and rituals, and my family always used the music and dance and storytelling as a tool, as to not as entertainment, but very take it very seriously to conduct these rituals. And even as a kid, I was an active member in these ceremonies, either as a music player or dancer or singer. So I was always fascinated with this deep culture of Azeris and Iranian culture that use music and use art as a serious tool to for healing processes, for like conducting ceremonies. And yeah, my mother was also she was working in a theater department of one of the most famous international and national performing arts stage in Tehran. So she was very disciplined to always make us trained and make us learn the music academically, Iranian music and also classical music. And my childhood was always participating and attending in long, boring classical concerts or attending to theaters from Eastern Europe, marionettes and so on. So my childhood was very colorful and joyful of these cultural values and flowing, and it was part of my life and my family's life. And after in my teenagehood, I graduated from music in a University of Art and Architecture in Tehran, and that time I began my music career professionally. And when I lost my father at age of 17 or 18, I founded a school with the inheritance that I received. I founded a school of music and psychology, and my aim was to bring all the artists from different parts of Iran and like-minded people who were also working underground, because the Islamic rules were developing and were spreading their dark wings all over the cultural values in Iran. So my aim was to bring everyone together, the music players and artists, performance artists, in a safe place. And we established like an orchestra, which I was a pianist in that orchestra, and also a choir, which I was a member of a choir as well. And also I started teaching piano in that academic style. And I developed my methods for children, combining different styles, not only music. To learn music, I established some methods to bring sculpture making, painting, and working with clay and create the sound of music. So, but unfortunately, after 8 years of putting effort and resources in that school, it was shut down by Islamic government because of the compulsory hijab rules. And I had to leave the country. And since then, the accordion is my main instrument, because I had to travel in different neighboring countries, and I needed like a portable instrument with me. And I started developing different techniques in accordion and learning mostly by myself. And I played in different bands in Turkey, India, Armenia, and yeah, since then.
Quite a life, quite a life. And you are also black metal musician, and Can you tell me why you like black metal?
I mean, when I'm talking about all these colorful memories of culture and music and dance, which were one reality of my childhood and also my adulthood in Iran, it was also one part that was very dark, and another reality that was coming and imposed from the outer society, and was very suppressing, and it was and it was spreading. And although my family, including me and so many other people, were trying to ignore that reality and live our life and survive with the tool of music and tool of culture, but it's still that suppression was imposed and was imposing itself into everyone's mind, and so many people just fall apart and their mind just falls. So um, when from early ages, I also started researching about meditation methodologies and also the movement therapy, and I found that it has a very rich and deep root in my culture. And Iranians always, because the history of Iran was always like in turbulence, it was never like calm.
Mm,
So my ancestors was always using these meditative methods with music and also movement therapy to balance this energy. So I was learning more about the blockages of energy, and I was practicing the body work, and I could also feel it in myself that these blockages of energy is heavy inside me, and is like dividing me and my energy, and I'm not feeling complete. So I always, since then, I try to use music and my voice and my instrument, and with writing, with autonomous writing and all that, to go beyond the standards, even go beyond the standard of classical music or Iranian traditional music, because they were all like, for me, it was very classified, very folded in one space, and I want to go beyond it and experience um, what is beyond everything, the normality and the standards. And with that practice, I realized that this is working, this is bringing me somewhere, that I feel energetic, and I feel that fire that I used to
mm,
have in my tribe, and I feel it. And as I go forward, I feel more and more energy when I was experimenting with the sound that was extreme.
mm,
And it was like I'm confronting my fears, and I'm going beyond that fear, and it was I was opening a door into other worlds, that I'm fearless. So
mm,
black metal for me was that kind of experiment, that I used my voice first, that was very liberating, to go beyond the standard,
mm,
creating the tune voice. And I told myself, just shout it out, just go beyond it. And when I reached to that point, we call it like a power joint, that
mm,
I could recognize it, then I could then harmonize that chaos and that vocal in a very harmonious way and in a very tuned way. So for me, it was first destroy it and go beyond it, and then after you reach to the level of freedom, then harmonize it. Yeah, that was the time when I traveled to India, and I met Faustus, my friend, and I came across the black metal. I said, this is the form of music that is very liberating, and it is involved movement, that I was researching about, because it had headbanging and all those movement, and also with voice you could liberate yourself a lot
Mm.
from those blockages of energy. So it had all inside. And
Yeah.
also ideologically, it was, you can say anything. I mean, anything according to your beliefs. You have no limitation. So it was very fearless form of art expression for me. And
Mhm.
still, as I'm going forward in this genre, and it never stops, because black metal can also by itself can be classified.
Oh yeah.
If you are not aware of it, you can be, it can be also a trap. It can become a fashion. It can become a, like a limiting and following the patterns and genre. But I always try to also destroy the concept of black metal and go
Mhm.
forward and go forward to see what's next and what is beyond it.
And you absolutely do. We will put some clip of you playing so they can understand what you're describing. And to conclude, in your opinion, because you are this fearless and on the stage you are just amazing, what is the role, if there is a role, according to you, for a musician like you in promoting gender equality and some sort of democracy? Then we can debate what democracy means, but is there a role for activism and being an example for girls that look at you and they say, oh, I didn't know I could be like her, but I can find my voice.
I mean, in my opinion, I believe and I know that the first step toward this goal is to destroy the concept of gender, first of all. And I always see myself, I don't like to identify myself as a woman or man or anything else. I like to identify myself as an individual and as a human, because in that case I can follow my thinking according to my understanding of life, not looking to some role model of some women or some men. I can look both, you know. And I think this gender division is something that's is very political still
Mm,
for me. And as politics always wants to divide us in many terms, even either if it's gender identity or the political view or in many other cases. So this brings only division. I see myself as a human, as a united individual that has male and female energy both in one body. And I don't follow any. The, uh, being a woman is not my is not my concern to follow somebody. Being a human is my concern.
mm,
And that's why I don't limit myself to look at women or look at men. I look at the world with open mind and with open eyes to see. And also I look at myself very openly and to see how I really feel. It's not about how womanish I feel or how masculine I feel, because this is very limiting.
mm,
And also in different project that we have, Nashmeh, Pagan Land, everyone that's Mork, Beaten Victorious, Tears of Fire, everyone that is involved is doing its job because of the individuality, because of its own power, not because they are woman or man.
mm,
And we try to combine everything as human, and I think that brings power. And I also never used I feel that it's very discriminating to for me to be called like a woman musician or woman artist,
mm,
because I don't see it like this myself, and I don't never propagate myself or advertise myself as a female fronted metal band or something like this. It is for me very, very important to not mention that
mm,
and not to advertise myself and take advantage of being woman, because I know that it is very advertised, being a woman. And for me, it's very discriminating, and
Mhm.
I always avoid doing it. And it's very important for anyone, girls or boys out there, um, to just look at themselves as a whole.
Yeah, as a human experience, as a beautiful creature that you are,
Thank
honestly.
you. Thank you.
So I want to thank you for opening your word to me and to us. You impacted me a lot as a human, as a researcher, and I am very proud to know you, and I'm blessed for that. So thank you so much for being
Thank you.
with us. And yeah, we will put your social media and everything. Thanks again.
Thank you again.